Hey everyone! So this is the third insight for this week, and we're going to start into section 11. Now, quick little background behind section 11. This is not in sequential order with, I think, 14, 15, 16. They're all kind of about the same time, but not in the right order. So this actually happens after the restoration of the priesthood. And Samuel Smith has been to see Joseph and heard about all this, come home and gone, oh my gosh, family, this is what the haps is. And Hiram's gone, wow, I've got to be part of this. And gone down there and seen Joseph and been like, Joseph, I want to be part of this. Tell me what I need to do. What is my purpose? What am I. So he's asked Joseph to inquire of the Lord what to do. And like when we're talking this week, my husband and I were talking this week about come follow me. In this particular lesson, we were like, can you remember that time, the process of it? They didn't know yet that there wasn't a common way to do things around getting your own revelation, your personal revelation. Like we're encouraged to this these days, that our prophet tells us to do this, and has done. And the last few prophets have, I think, from this dispensation. Get your own revelation. Go get personal revelation. Get your answers around this. So back then, if you wanted to know something, and actually in a lot of churches now, you go and ask the priest, the pastor, the bishop, whatever they have, you go and ask them, and they tell you what the Lord wants you to do. Which, isn't awful if that person that you're asking is a man of God or a woman of God or a one that has your best interest in heart, and really, then that's not awful. But it's not correct either. You need to do this for yourself. But back then, this is what happened. So Hiram asking Joseph to inquire for the Lord on Hiram's behalf, completely normal, right? So don't think that he wasn't not inquiring for himself. This is just what you did. And as my husband Dave pointed out, remember even Joseph at age 14 when he went to pray said he had not prayed vocally before. So this is something that was new to them. Okay, so just to clear that up and point that out. The cool thing about this too was that when the original of this was given, Joseph said it and Hiram wrote it down. So it was sort of almost the beginning of getting your own revelation, because he's writing it down. I mean, can you imagine sitting there with President Nelson now and not taking notes on what he's telling you? Just thinking, oh yes, cool conversation. I'm like, no, I would be like scribbling everything down. I have my phone out recording it because I want to know what he's going to say to me. What's he going to say to me? Especially if he's saying, I need to give you a revelation from the Lord for you. You're going to go, oh yeah, I'll remember it later. No, write it down. So glad they wrote it down. So that was kind of cool that they, that he thought to do this and actually did it. And to have it all written, this is all about you. Especially the verse where he says, you are Hiram. And then you're like, oh, really is me. Okay. So this is really good. But we're going to go straight to verse 12. I think I put, verse 12 to 13, because this is really about how to recognize the Holy Ghost. And this is really good about getting your own revelation, and that kind of this personal revelation that Hiram's asked for, he's told how to recognize the Holy Ghost. Because he's given a mission here and what to do, and then told, wait, not yet. Soon, but not yet. And what you're going to do in the meantime is these things. So that's what we're going to talk about next. But this one, we're talking about how to recognize the Spirit. So verses 12 to 13 reads, And now verily, verily, I say unto thee, put your trust in the Spirit which leadeth to do good, yea, to do justly, to walk humbly, to judge righteously, and this is my spirit. Verily, verily, I say unto you, I will impart unto you of my Spirit, which shall enlighten your mind, which shall fill your soul with joy. Which will fill your soul with joy. Sorry, thinking there was more. There is, because 14 is really good too. Actually, I'm going to read 14 anyway. It says, And then you shall know, or by this you shall know all things whatsoever you desire of me, which are pertaining unto things of righteousness, and faith believing in me that you shall receive. And that's that part of receiving from the Holy Ghost. But first of all, knowing what the Holy Ghost has said is 12 and 13. So, put your trust in the Lord to do good. Did I write it down? Yes, I did. I did write it down. It leads you to what? Do good. Leads you to do good, to do justly, to walk humbly, to be humble, and to judge righteously. And it will enlighten your mind and it will fill your soul with joy. And that's the feeling you're going to get from the Holy Ghost. Now, I was like, because a lot of youth ask this, a lot of people ask this, and some of us have learned it, some of us are still learning it. And I'm always saying, these are the things here that you'll feel. And it takes practice to know whether that's exactly the Holy Ghost or what you're hearing is the Holy Ghost, whether it was your good idea, his good idea. It's like, well, can they be the same? Of course they can. Your good idea can be his good idea. His good idea can be your good idea. If you're working together, then it's your good ideas together, isn't it? But you might not always be 100% sure it's the Holy Ghost. Sorry, guys. You might not be 100% sure it's always the Holy Ghost. But if you're prompted or inspired to do something good, you're filled with humility, or feel an increase of joy, then it's most likely the Holy Ghost. It really is. It's just that simple. Like the feelings that you can get. Sometimes the Holy Ghost sort of yells at you, you've got to do this now because it's a dangerous situation. But mostly if you're asking for an answer to something, it just comes as this, you just know, and then you get to it, the more you do it. Yeah, people describe it as being covered with a warm blanket. Actually, that would kind of freak me out because I get too hot and I don't like the warm blanket sort of thought. But then I can see what people mean by that. I can see the happy warmth and the joy, the comfort that it gives you. It is just a comfort feeling. Comfort beyond the best chocolate in the world. Comfort beyond the most comfortable, softest mattress. It's that kind of comfort, and I think that's why they use the warm blanket thing. But it's good. It just feels good, and not in a slightly nagging, this is a little off way, like, oh, I feel it's good, but that's not quite right about it, then that's not the Holy Ghost. So if you feel a good, and then don't let the stresses get you around your answer, and don't go back and have to and then start overthinking it. Go with what you felt. And it's a process you've got to learn. You're not going to get this straight away. This takes time. A lot of trial and tribulation to go through and to practice this before you just get to the point where some people are at. So bear with yourself and give yourself a little bit of, slack on that. But give it a try too. And really get to have that Holy Ghost live with you and abide with you and to feel that in like an everyday kind of thing. Now, the quote from this again, because from Elder Uchtdorf, is from one of his most favourite talks of mine, Fourth Floor, Last Door. I think we all love that one. And he said, there are more ways to see than with our eyes, and ain't that the truth? And that's what we do with the Holy Ghost. We see things not with our physical eyes. We see things with our spirit. So that's that one, how to recognise the Holy Ghost. All right, we've gone over our 8 minutes, so I'm going to skip to the next one, and I'll see you there.